All right, everybody, welcome back. Are you ready to dive deep into karate history with us today?
I am ready.
Because today we are talking about Isao Obata.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that name doesn't ring a bell, that's okay. Stick with us.
Yes.
Because he was a direct student of Gichin Funakoshi,
Yes.
the founder of modern karate.
Exactly.
So to give you an idea of the kind of information we're working with, we've got some biographical excerpts here.
Oh, nice.
And trust me, this goes way beyond a typical martial arts story.
Yeah.
We are talking about tradition, how it survives, how it changes, and how people like Obata wrestled with all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's really cool is that Obata's life kind of runs parallel to karate's journey in a lot of ways.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, he was born way back in 1904 when karate was just starting to emerge outside of Okinawa.
Oh, wow.
So can you imagine learning directly from the founder?
Yeah.
Like soaking up all that knowledge at such a crucial time?
Oh, yeah. No,
It
absolutely.
must have been incredible.
Yeah, that's already huge training under Funakoshi, but it's not like he just sat there and absorbed it passively. Right?
No, not at all. Obata was actually the very first captain of the Kyoto University Karate Club.
Oh, wow.
So he was a leader like right from the start.
Right from the get-go.
And get this.
Yeah.
He got his black belt in 1926.
Okay, so that's
Which means he was...
early adopter.
Yeah, I mean, it was less than 25 years after Funakoshi brought karate to mainland Japan.
Oh, wow.
To put it in perspective, you know, the Dan ranking system in karate,
Yeah.
it's all about skill and experience.
Mhm.
So reaching 5th Dan before World War II,
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Curious.
That means Obata was a true master.
He was the real deal.
Yeah.
Like the top tier.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're talking top tier skills, early adopter, total karate nerd.
Yes.
In the best possible way.
Yes, in a good way.
So you'd think, all right, this guy's whole life,
Yeah.
dojos, training, that's it.
Yeah.
But there's more, right?
There's a lot more to it.
There's always more.
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
So in 1932,
Yeah.
he goes to Manchuria.
Okay.
And not to teach karate.
What?
He goes as an economic advisor for Manchurian aviation.
Hold on.
We're talking flight schedules, logistics,
Okay.
totally different world.
Completely.
A whole other skill set.
Right.
And on top of that,
Yeah.
he was also a master archer.
No way.
Yeah, kyudo.
Oh, wow.
He even won a tournament representing Manchuria in 1940.
Wait a minute. So we've got this karate master who's also a high-level professional
Uh-huh.
and a champion archer?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Talk about a Renaissance man, right?
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is kind of blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Do you think his time in Manchuria, away from, like the traditional karate world,
Yeah.
do you think that shaped his views later on?
I think it's definitely possible. Like,
Yeah.
being outside that bubble might have made him, notice the changes happening back in Japan even more. And, of course, World War II, that just shook everything up.
Absolutely.
I mean, for everyone.
Yeah.
And actually, Obata's brother, Satoru, who was also into karate, and judo, too.
Oh, wow.
He died in the Battle of Iwo Jima,
Oh, man.
which is just,
Tragic.
yeah, huge loss. And that really hit Obata hard. And he decided to go back to Japan to take care of his family.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah.
Returning to a country that's been through a war, dealing with that kind of personal loss.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine even trying to pick up where you left off with karate after all that.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been easy.
Mhm.
And to make it even more difficult, the Allied occupation, they actually banned martial arts for a few years after the war.
Oh, wow.
3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Obata had to wait to get back to training under Funakoshi.
Right.
But when he did, things were different.
Yeah.
Karate was entering this new phase,
Yeah.
becoming more organized, more formalized.
That's right. This is where the Japan Karate Association comes in, right?
Yes.
The JKA, the big one.
The big one, exactly.
Didn't Obata have a role in creating that?
He did. He was actually one of the co-founders,
Wow.
alongside some other big names like Masatoshi Nakayama,
Right.
Shigeru Agami.
Yeah, those are big names.
Big names.
Huge.
Yeah, this was 1949.
Okay.
And the JKA, it just blew up.
Became a global force.
Global force, yeah.
Yeah.
And they made Obata the very first chairman
Wow.
with Funakoshi as the honorary chief instructor,
Right.
which tells you a lot about the respect they had for Obata.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge.
So from direct student
Yeah.
to helping create this massive organization,
Mhm.
you'd think, okay, happy ending. Right.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But then he leaves the JKA just a few years later.
Yeah.
What happened?
That's a bold move.
It is a bold move.
Yeah, leaving something you helped build. It's never easy.
No.
So for Obata, it really came down to concerns about where the JKA was headed.
Okay.
He felt like they were getting too caught up in competition and standardization, almost like they were training for combat instead of self-improvement.
Right.
Like focusing on the external rather than the internal.
Yeah.
This is kind of what people mean when they talk about the militarization of karate.
Okay, so it's like he saw them shifting away from the spiritual side of karate.
Exactly.
The personal growth aspect that Funakoshi really emphasized.
Yeah, like losing the heart of it.
Now, some people might be thinking, who cares about old karate politics?
Yeah.
But this conflict that Obata was going through, this is something we see all the time, right?
All the time.
It's about how do we hold on to traditions as the world around us changes.
Exactly.
A really fundamental question.
It is.
And Obata wasn't just complaining about it.
Yeah.
He actually took action.
He did.
He believed that university karate clubs, that's where the true spirit of Funakoshi's karate survived.
Yeah, he thought those environments were more about, self-development.
Yeah.
And less about winning or commercializing things.
This is about, like, the business side of things.
Yeah.
More about the purity.
Yeah, the essence of it.
The essence of it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The university setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have that reputation.
Right.
More focused on learning and personal growth. But hold on. Didn't Obata also have a big role in bringing karate to America?
Yeah.
That seems kind of contradictory, doesn't it? Given his worries about commercialization and all that.
It does seem that way, right? But that's what makes his story so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's complex.
Uh-huh.
He was a complicated guy. Even though he had those doubts about the JKA, he still wanted to share karate with the world.
Okay.
So in the early 1950s, he starts teaching U.S. Air Force personnel who were stationed in Japan.
Okay.
And get this, he even gave demonstrations on bases across America.
Ah.
And one of his students from that time,
Uh-huh.
Tsutomu Oshima,
Okay.
he ended up founding the Southern California Karate Association.
Wow. So even while he's pushing back against some of these changes in karate, his influence is reaching all the way to the U.S.
Exactly.
It's like he saw both sides.
Yeah.
The good and the bad
He did.
of its growing popularity.
Yeah.
And remember, he didn't stop teaching just because he left the JKA.
No, not at all.
He kept going at Kyo and Meiji universities.
Yeah.
Late into his life, too.
Yeah.
Like, he saw these universities as a way to protect the true karate. Keep Funakoshi's vision alive.
It's a beautiful thought, right?
It is.
And his students definitely felt that.
They did, and they even gave him this plaque that said,
Oh, really?
like, your nickname, Elephant, you are strong, big, and gentle. We thank you for the lessons you have taught us.
Wow, that's really sweet.
It is, and it really feels like that gentleness
Yeah.
is what he was afraid karate was losing.
I think you're right. It's so interesting they called him Elephant,
Yeah.
that nickname. It's really fitting.
It is.
Strong, for sure,
Yeah.
but also wise. Patient.
Yeah.
It kind of sums up what he stood for.
It does.
Yeah.
It makes me think about how often we talk about preserving tradition. But what does that even mean?
It's a good question.
Is it just about clinging to the past?
Yeah.
Or is it more about carrying those values forward,
Yeah.
the principles?
That's the heart of it, isn't it?
I think so.
I think Obata would say it's about understanding the essence of the art, the why behind all the how.
Right. Not just doing the moves,
Exactly.
but understanding their deeper meaning.
And that's what makes his story relevant even today,
Yeah.
even if you're not a karate expert.
Exactly. It's a reminder that traditions change, but the values behind them,
Yeah,
they can still guide us.
it can.
It's easy to get caught up in the flashiness of martial arts, especially when it's becoming more popular.
Yeah, it's exciting.
But Obata reminds us to look deeper.
Yeah.
Ask ourselves, what are we really practicing here?
What are we
Yeah.
passing on to the next generation?
Right, because it's not just about the moves themselves.
Yeah.
It's about what they represent.
Exactly.
I think that's the challenge Obata gives us, to be more than just practitioners, but guardians
Yeah.
of the traditions that we inherit.
Stewards of what came before.
Yeah, that's a big responsibility
It is.
and also an incredible opportunity.
Absolutely. And it's not just about karate, is it?
No, it's not.
It goes for anything we care about.
Any field, any tradition.
How do we honor the past but still shape the future
Yeah,
in a way that's genuine and meaningful?
in a way that's real.
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, it is a lot to think about. You can really see why someone like Obata, who was so connected to the roots of karate, would be concerned about these things. He saw it changing as it spread.
Yeah.
And he wasn't afraid to ask, are these changes good?
Right. And that's exactly what makes him such a compelling figure. He wasn't just along for the ride. He was really grappling with the evolution of karate,
Yeah.
trying to guide it in a way that felt true to him. And that takes courage.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you're kind of going against the tide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he's given us this challenge, a homework assignment almost, to really look at our own relationship with karate and what it means to us.
What does it stand for?
Are we just following trends?
Yeah.
Or are we searching for something deeper, something more?
It's about asking ourselves, what do we want our practice to be about?
Yeah.
Is it just about physical skill, or is there something more?
Right, and that self-awareness,
Yeah.
that's what can lead us to a more fulfilling experience.
It is.
Whether it's karate or anything else.
Absolutely.
It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
Honoring the tradition,
Yeah.
but also allowing ourselves to grow.
Yeah, to evolve.
And that's tough,
Yeah.
especially in a world that's changing so fast.
It's a constant process.
But it's a journey worth taking.
Definitely. And I think Obata's story shows us that it's okay to question things,
Yeah.
to challenge things, to find what feels right for us.
Find our own path.
Yeah, our own way of expressing the spirit of karate.
Exactly.
Even if it's different from what everyone else is doing.
It's about finding that inner strength, that conviction, to stand up for what you believe in.
Yes.
Even when it's not the easy choice.
That's a powerful lesson.
And that's something that goes way beyond just martial arts.
Oh, yeah. It applies to life in general.
Something we can all take with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well said. I think that's a great place to wrap up our deep dive on Isao Obata.
Yeah.
His story really highlights that tradition and innovation, they're not opposites.
They're not.
They can work together, even make each other stronger. If we approach them thoughtfully and respectfully.
With intention.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe by exploring the past,
Yeah.
understanding choices people like Obata made,
Yeah.
we can find our own way forward.
Our own way to shape the future.
For the things we care about. So, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.